So here he says participants for the National Karate Championship and Commonwealth Karate Championship have to appear for the Common Ability Test, that is CAT. The test evaluates a participant on three parameters. What are those three? Strength, flexibility, and agility. Among the participants who appeared for CAT, those with 90% or more in at least two parameters and 95% or more overall are selected for the next exam, which is QAT, which is conducted by NKF. QAT is used for NKF for the final selection. For the 1200 participants who scored 95% or more points overall based on CAT, the following facts are known about their performance. So we already know that 1200 participants have got more than 95% overall. What about the sectionals? Because in three sections, they must be getting 90% or more in at least two. So they have given the data about those as well, that how much have they scored in the sectional ones. Here is the data. No one scored below 90% points in all three sections. 840 scored 90% or more ratio of number of participants, so on and so forth. So what I have done, I have made a small Venn diagram here to solve it and to explain it to you. Let us say this circle represents the section strength. This is for F and this is for A, that is agility, right? Now, no one scored below 90% in all three sections. So outside area is 0. That means all the people inside the three circles, they add up to 1200, because it was already given that 1200 people have scored more than 95% overall. 840 scored 90% or more points in exactly two sections. So let's call these areas as A, B, and C. So these three areas, that is A, B, and C, they add up to 840, as the question tells us. Ratio of the number of participants who scored 90% or more points only in S, that is this area, to the number of participants who scored 90% or more only in F, that is this area, to those who scored 90 or more in only in A, that is this area, they are in a ratio of 5:4:3. Let's call this area as 5x. So this area would be 4x and this area would be equal to 3x. Now there is only one area remaining. Let's call it D. What next? Ratio of the number of participants who scored below 90% in S. Now pay attention to this part. These circles are representing the people who scored above 90%, 90 or above. So how many below scored below 90 in S? That means people who are outside the circle of S. And how many people are outside the circle of S? That are these three areas. It is 4x plus 3x plus B. 4x, 3x and B are the three areas which are outside S. So they scored below 90% in S. Their ratio with the number of participants who scored below 90 in F. Similarly, how many of them are below F? They are 5x plus 3x plus C is to the one who scored below 90 in A, that is outside A. What area is outside A? 5x plus 4x plus A. He says they are in a ratio of 3x, 3:6:4. Or you can also say 7x plus B is to 8x plus C is to 9x plus A. They are in a ratio of 3:6:4. Now there comes a very important point from here, that if I add all of them, 7x, 8x, 9x is 24x. B plus C plus A. B plus C plus A is already given to us as 840. So 24x plus 840, sum of all these three areas, it should be equal to 3k plus 6k plus 4k. So basically you can say it should be a multiple of 13. It should be a multiple of 13. I just have to check what all values of x will make it a multiple of 13. 24x plus 840 should be a multiple of 13. I need to check what all values are making it a multiple of 13. So by little of hit and trial, you can say that first value of x that will make it a multiple of 13 is equal to 4. The next value is going to be 17. The next value is going to be 30 and so on. There can be multiple values. You keep adding 13, you keep on getting the values as well. So where do I stop? The question will be answered by this number, that sum of all the values is basically 1200. So 5x, 4x, 3x, that is equal to 13x. A plus B plus C, which is equal to 840 plus D. This has to be equal to 1200, or I can say 13x plus D should be equal to 1200 minus 840, that is 360. So I can put x as 4. Yes, I can. Can I put x as 17? Yes, I can. Can I put x as 30? I'm sorry, this was 12x. I'm sorry. Can I put x as 30? Yes, I can. But I cannot put anything above 30 because even at 30, d becomes 0. If x is above 30, it would be less than 0. So the possible values of x are 4, 17 and 30. Possible values of x are 4, 17 and 30. By putting these possible values here, I will get different possible values of k. So that means I will get different values of these values as well. And then by putting them here, I can get the value of B, I can get the value of C, I can get the value of A. I will show you an example that how would we calculate that. Let us say I put x is equal to 30. Let's say I put x is equal to 30. If x is equal to 30, of course, D would be 0. If x is 30 here, D would be 0. So D would become 0. X is 30, that means this is 150, this is 120, this is equal to 90. And if x is equal to 30, so this becomes 24 into 30, that is 720. 720 plus 840, that is 1560. If it is 1560, 13k is 1560. So what is k? It is 1560 by 13, that is equal to 120. If I put k as 120, this value would become 360. This value would become 720 and this value would become 480. Now I can say 7x plus b is 360 and 7x is already 7 into 30. So 210 plus b is 360, that gives me b as 150. Similarly, 8x plus c is 720, but x is already 30. So 240 plus c is equal to 720. From there, I can say c is equal to 480. And similarly, 9x plus a is 480, but x is already 30. So it becomes 270 plus a is equal to 480. So therefore, I can say a is equal to 210. So from there, I'll get the value of A as 210. I'll get the value of B as 150. I'll get the value of C as 480 and I get one complete Venn diagram. But this is one Venn diagram according to 30. There would be another Venn diagram according to 17. There would be another Venn diagram according to 4. These are the only three Venn diagrams that can be formed. And once these are formed, you can answer all the questions. Let's check them one by one. So what I have done, okay, there is more information about this. He says CKC. So till now we were talking about NKC. What about CKC? They uses a different process for selection. If any participant is appearing in Q80 by NKC, and when would a person appear for Q80 if you remember? When a person gets more than 90% in two of the sections. But here he says, CKC says that if the participant scores 90% or more in S only, not in two of them, but only in S, even then CKC considers their Q80 score for final selection. Any other participant who scores 90% or more in S in CAT but is not eligible for Q80, when would that happen? If a person has scored more than 90% in S, but he has not scored more than 90% in any of the two, right? Other two. So in that case, he would have scored more than 90 in only one, that is S. So he would not be eligible for Q80. In that case, CKC says you have to write another test that is conducted by CKC for final selection. Altogether, 2000 participants have scored more than 90% in S, right? So some of those 2000 would not have scored more than 95% overall, so they would not be a part of our Venn diagram. But in the Venn diagram, only those people are there who have scored more than 95% overall. Remaining ones probably are not a part of our Venn diagram. So what I have done, I have written all the three cases now for the remaining questions. So these are the 6 questions based on this given data. We will be doing them one by one now. So let's have a look at this question now. It says number of participants who scored 95% or more overall and also scored 90% or more in F is less than 500. Now, how many participants scored in F that is more than 90%? It is 4x plus A plus B plus D. He says it should be less than 500. Let's check all these cases. In which case it becomes less than 500? First case, X is 30, so 34s are 120. A is 210, B is 150, D is 0, it is less than 500, satisfied. Case 2, 17 fours are 68, A is 231, B is 169, D is 156, it is not less than 500. Case 3, X is 4, so 4 fours are 16, A is 252, B is 188, D is 312, not less than 500. So he is talking about case 1 here. The question he is asking is, how many participants had to appear for another subsequent test for CKC? How many participants appear for another subsequent test for CKC? When they have scored more than 90 percentile in S but are not eligible for QAT. These all people have scored more than 90 percentile in S, and these people are eligible for QAT because they have scored more than 90 in one more section. Similarly, these are eligible. These are eligible. So out of total 2000 people, as it was mentioned before, 2000 people have scored more than 90 percentile in S. Out of these 2000, these A, that is 210, these D's, that is 0, these C's, that is 480, are not going to write another test. So if I subtract all of them, that is 2000 minus 690, 1310 students are going to write another subsequent test, and that is the right answer for the first question, 1310. This question says that if there is no participant who scored more than 95% overall and 90 or more points for all three parameters, that means he's talking about case 1, because there only we have all three people 0. Then how many participants were shortlisted for CAT by NKC? How many are shortlisted for CAT? Whoever got more than 90 percentile in at least 2. So these and these. Of course D is 0. So what is A? A is 210. What is B? It is 150. What is C? It is 480. If you add all of them, I get 840 people who are shortlisted for CAT. Now this question says if the number of participants who scored more than 95% overall, 90 or more point for each of the three parameters alone in CAT is a multiple of 17. That means this and this. These numbers should be a multiple of 17. They would be a multiple of 17. When X is a multiple of 17, so he's talking about case 2. Then what is the number of participants who scored 95 or more overall and 90 or more points in both F and A? Both F and A in CAT. Both F and A is basically D plus B. Both F and A is D plus B. So D is 156, B is 169. If you add them, this gives me 325. So D option is the correct answer. Now it says which of the following cannot be the number of participants who appeared for the subsequent test for CKC and scored 95% or more points overall in CAT, who appeared for the subsequent test for CKC. How many people appeared for the subsequent test for CKC but have got 95% or more? These are those people who got more than 90% in only S. That means these are the people of 5X. Now 5X, what cannot this be? This is what the question is asking you. 5x can be 5 into 30, 150, 5 into 17, 85, 5 into 420. It can be this, it can be this, it can be this. So none of the above is the number which it cannot be. So my answer for this question is none of the above. Now this question says what could be the maximum possible number of participants who scored more than 95% overall and 90% or more points for all three parameters in CAT. That means it's asking you what is D maximum. D maximum is 312. So that is the answer. And finally, what is the minimum possible number of participants who have 95% or more on overall but 90% or more in all three parameters? So minimum is 0, and that was the last question of this set. I would say if you know Venn diagram well, this question would have been doable. Otherwise, probably you would find it a little difficult to do.